Welcome to another tutor short provided by the Educational Support Services Department of Lehigh Carbon Community College in Snexville, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Allentown. These videos review key learnings for the science courses provided here at LCCC. And please remember that the Educational Support Services Department does provide walk-in tutoring 5 days a week. Okay, let's review the impact osmosis has on cells. I've shown here on the left a representation of how that osmosis has an impact on cells and blood, and this is reviewed in your Chem 106 course, and it's obviously important for pre-nursing students. So the semipermeable membrane is what's important in osmosis, and a semipermeable membrane is a membrane that only allows in this case water to pass through that membrane, sort of like a filter. But other materials such as salt and glucose cannot pass through the membrane. There's only water being able to move from one side to the other. So I have here sort of a representation of cells on the left, and the cell wall is represented by this blue line in the middle, and then on the right is your blood and bloodstream that's working alongside with your cells. And so I show here on the left with the cell a typical level or a normal level in cells is 0.9% sodium chloride. That's on a mass per volume basis, which is grams per milliliter. And a normal glucose level, sugar level, is 5%, also on a mass per volume basis. And so if you look at the 0.9 and 5 together and say the rest is water, you end up with 94.1% water to make up the remainder of the solution. Now on the other side of the cell wall you have your blood, and if you have normal levels of blood, or if you're healthy, you should be balanced. So you should have 0.9% sodium chloride, 5% glucose, and the remainder 94.1% of water. And that's so your blood, if it's in balance with your cells, they say your blood is isotonic, or the solution of your blood is isotonic, which means you're at the normal levels of 0.9 salt and 5% glucose. So what happens if, I'll say, you get sick and something upsets this balance? So now let's take the example of a low level of either salt or sugar or both. We'll use, I'm going to change both, though you could only change one if you want. Let's say the salt was a little bit lower at 0.5 and your glucose was at 2.5. So they're both low. Now you have 0.5 and 2.5 with these two materials, so that's a total of 3%. So now your water is going to be higher, so at 97%. The remainder is water. So what happens here with osmosis, since only water can pass across this cell wall in the membrane, you look at your water concentration on the left inside the cell, it's 94% about. And on the right here, you have 97% water. So it's higher. And so what happens is the higher concentration of water is going to try to equalize with the lower. Your water is going to go from right to left, from your blood into your cells, to try to equalize this to say, I don't know, 95.5 or something, to get some kind of equal level. So because water is now going to pass from your blood into your cell is going to gain water up here. So it's going to gain water, which means it's going to swell. So as your cells in your body swell with water, as I show over here on the right, that's called hemolysis. The condition is hemolysis. And that happens when your blood is hypotonic. Hypotonic meaning low in the salts and sugar. So in this case, this is hypotonic. Your blood is hypotonic, and it's low. Now, let's take the opposite condition. Now, instead of having a lower level of salts, let's say we have a higher level. So now let's take, let's say we have 1% salt and 9% sugar. So that's a total of 10%. So now you're at 90% water. Now you're higher in your cell, inside your cell, than you are in your blood. Water, to equalize, is going to cross over from your cells into your bloodstream. You try to get the equalize between the 94 and the 90. Get somewhere like 92. It's going to try and do. And so what's going to happen to your water level in your cell? It's going to go down. You're going to have less water in your cell. Your cells are going to shrink because of that. When your cells shrink, the condition you have is it's called crenation, and your blood is at a hypertonic position, or this over here, hypertonic. Got a lousy handwriting there, but hypertonic. Your blood has more salt and sugar than normal, and you have a hypertonic situation in your blood. It's going to cause crenation of your cells. And so you have these three situations: isotonic, when everything is normal; then hypotonic, when your salt levels are low in your blood; hypertonic, when they're high. And if you think about if you were a doctor, so you have this situation I show here, your blood is high in salts and you're hypertonic, you would probably prescribe a intravenous solution. The intravenous solution would be the opposite. It would be hypotonic. It'll have low levels of salt and sugar, to then try to balance out these levels in your blood to get yourself back to your normal levels of 0.9 and 5 and everything back into balance. So that's how osmosis impacts what happens with your cells. Thank you.